Hi, my name's Sarah Smart, and I'm a visual artist based in Dundee. I would describe my practice as being transdisciplinary in that all the artworks that I produce have an underlying political discourse, and also they're all produced with a range of different mediums. I enrolled in Duncan of Jordanson's General Foundation course in 2011 with a portfolio full of drawing and painting. Quickly rejected this traditional medium in favour for photography, which offered a sort of immediacy that attracted me. By 2013 I was specialising in film and photography, and I was also working under the guidance of pioneering cyber-feminist Cornelia Solfrank. Around this time, I'd been also following the infamous bus gang rape. This story for me, was just something that couldn't be ignored. I was left powerless as a mere consumer of this mass media outcry. And it was in this instance that I decided that I wanted my artwork to become a tool to condemn conditions of degradation, which stripped women of agency and raised awareness of the issues that concerned me. Having spoke about this with my tutor, Dr. Solfrank, she introduced me to the feminist avant-garde work of the 60s and 70s. These emotive and often provocative performances, combined with experimental film and photography, would lay the foundations for my future practice. I was also researching feminist theorists such as Judith Butler. I was very interested in her theory on performativity, and as such I was very much interested in how female figures were represented in artworks and the effect that this had on our psyche and our gender embodiment. The works I created after this moment of reconfiguration utilise the female body subversely, not as a symbol of subordination, but as a powerful tool to challenge and disrupt social norms and qualities pertaining to the female. Thus, emancipate women from their predisposition as the second sex. In doing so, I was able to remove the female figure from her adopted role as passive object to that of agent. So in the earliest of these works, I use endurance performance to push the body's limits through either physical pain or physical exertion. I just want to add a note there that the physical pain that I endured through many of these performances was never intended. It was a sort of an oversight. During a lot of the performances I wore business attire to symbolise the restraints inflicted on women by society, and how, in my opinion, this has contributed to disabling women from surpassing the glass ceiling. So this was shown through the pencil skirt, the high heels. So I graduated in 2015. I think graduating was quite a scary kind of time, being so used to being this sort of safety net of the university, and now I was on my own and in the real world. I'd also recently moved into an apartment on my own. I had no money, I had no furniture, so I remember sitting in my empty flat with my laptop, looking for job opportunities, and I opened up my emails, and just as I opened them up, an email was sent through from the university about a job opportunity with a local artist, Dawson Murray. Now I just saw this as a sign, something significant, and I had to chase, so I read the job description and it was perfect, apart from one essential point was that you had to have a full, clean driver's license, and I couldn't drive. But despite this, and I'll never know what made me do it, but I contacted Dawson Murray, being very impressed with the promptness in my reply and my enthusiasm and my passion that came through in my email. I was offered an interview sort of straight away. I went to the interview and at the very end confessed that I couldn't fulfill the role because I couldn't drive, and that I was really sorry for wasting his time. But a few days later he emailed me and apologised that I hadn't got the job. Having looked at my artistic background and my practice, he thought that this would be a really rich opportunity for me to go and work with Richard DeMarco. And so I did. So I worked in the archive, created digital archiving systems for referencing, and then I helped to source and annotate images for the Museum of Contemporary Art in Krakow, works of Joseph Beuys and Tadeusz Kantor, as well as Richard DeMarco's own work. So yeah, that was a fantastic experience. So I was there for about 6 months, and after I left, I prepared for a group exhibition at the Royal Scottish Academy's New Contemporaries. I then continued collaborating with different artists with different backgrounds, sort of musicians and also sculptors, and created performances, photography and film works for local exhibition spaces in Dundee. Then my passion for sort of human rights topics, I decided to apply for a volunteering placement through international service, where I was placed in Rwanda for 3 months, teaching human rights topics to the youth. So when I returned home, I was very lucky, and I was approached by the university to fulfill a temporary contract in the audiovisual workshop, and later received a permanent contract there. So this gave me the opportunity to apply to do my master's course in art humanities at the university to sort of coincide with my job role that I had there. So moving forward, I want to take the opportunity as a postgraduate student, and also my role as a technician at the university, to just sort of expand on my knowledge and experience of ever advancing technologies and audiovisuals, and to see how I can push the boundaries with these technologies and utilise them in my performances to evoke social change and to highlight the issues that concern me in my practice.